Okay, so we waited a whole long time for the housekeeper. I don't know if she's going to show up or not. And the feds do normally dictate that, so like that means that if they tell me they're going to come, they come, and if they tell me they're not going to come, they don't come. Puppy, you did that. They told me that they weren't going to come. But check this out. They told me they weren't going to come first thing this morning. But then as soon as I went to get breakfast, they said that, hold up, I'm trying to get this out my eye. They won't let me get the small piece of hair out. They're just trying to irritate my eye so it appears very red. Anyways, however, once I went and got breakfast, they said the elements had changed and that they were interested in cleaning the room now because they want to come in contact with the bag. Literally. Just told you verbatim. And then I stopped waiting and I sat down and I ate. And I don't know what happened. Well, then the roaches started swarming in the hallway. The roach people. And I was picking up on that. And they were talking about how they were expecting me and the dog to leave before the housekeeper came. But I was actually waiting on her to come before we left, okay? And when that didn't happen the way that they wanted it to, they said that they weren't coming anymore at all. So then recently, this is about 5 minutes ago, she asked me, she said, we want some situations if we come and clean your room. And she didn't say it verbally. They flashed images of what they wanted. So at first I thought it was caffeine, like the energy drink they had been chasing, trying to claim since I bought it 2 days ago. But then the image became more clear. They wanted a 3-star hotel. They said they wanted me to get away from here, where I was telling on them and where, they get caught right away. So they wanted a 3-star hotel with a dog fee or whatever. And I said, why would I do that? And they said they aren't coming at all. When I got up, that thing that's walking right there was right here. And remember what I said about the bullshit they're doing with satellites. Every time, it's weird because, like I said, remind you, this is a normal hangout for them. Like, in the past when I've stayed here, and this is probably 3 weeks and 10 months total. 4 weeks and 10 months. I've been at this hotel maybe a little more than 4 weeks. I feel like there was one occasion. It was about 5 weeks out of 10 months. So look, I told you it's normal for them to gather right here. But the elements and the stakes go up if I'm occupying a room nearby, okay? Because how they're using the identities and the satellites associated with that area then becomes all a target, instrumental for the sabotage that they're pulling on me. And that's exactly what happened. So them out there with their phones, I think that's a boy. Them out there with their phones. And, the sabotage they were pulling. They were acting like this glass wasn't here. I told you they often paint the space as something completely different. So they were trying to act like the lowlifes were in the room with me. And occasionally, like, whereas, I don't know, maybe other people that have occupied this room before have heard them outside the window. But that wasn't my experience the first 3 days. It started once, the stakes grew higher and they became more desperate for what they were doing. So when that happened, they ended up starting broadcasting the voices or amplifying the voices in a way that I would hear them inside the room. And I went off. I'm like, why are y'all playing these voices inside the room where I can hear it? And y'all ain't got no business doing that. The roach people. I'm like, y'all ain't got no business doing that. Blah blah blah. Blah, 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 blah. And so as soon as I went off, they disappeared and they came back, and then they were playing this game where they were disappearing and coming back and trying to, it had a whole lot to do with me verbalizing what the identities actually look like.